So we are moving on to the other channel called banking delivery channel, right? And this is one of the other key important area where the banks are more focusing on delivery channel, especially current scenario. So you will say every bank is try to have an efficient delivery channel where limiting the physical presence of the customer to the branch. So that is how the delivery channel is become emerging, and everybody focusing how best they could deliver the banking services uh, virtually without customers physical present to the branches. So let us see why this is important. Uh, you can see the recent trend. So every banks, if you look at the recent trend, you know there are foreign banks. If you take Sri Lankan context, you're looking at the commercial bank Sri Lankan context. So priority will be given to the Sri Lankan banking industry. So if you really look at it, there are some foreign banks who are present here, like the name of Standard Chartered, Citibank. They are more towards into certain retail business like issuing cards and all, right? So HSBC. So what happens when these banks are into retail segment? Uh, they will definitely introduce their global practices here. Whatever efficient delivery channel, they will definitely try to introduce to the local market to capture more customers. Then the local bank need to compete with them. So they also should focus their retail banking delivery channel, how efficiently. So every bank's focus is looking at the advancement of technology where it is getting into every field. Banking is not exceptional. So the banking also using a lot of advanced technology. So we could see that, right? You can do the banking while at home. If you have a device and the internet connection, simply you can log in and do any transaction that you prefer to do. Of course, there are certain transactions you need to go to the bank, but generally, most of the required transaction by the general public could be carried out uh, through this latest delivery channel, right? So the banks are focusing because the people requirements, customers requirements is changing. It's taking paradigm shift because it's not the conventional method. Going to the bank, being in the queue, you should have seen about 10 to 20 years ago the different scenario. Conventional banking, everybody has to go when the branch doors open. People are waiting outside to be in the queue to deposit, to withdraw, any other queries. So likewise, even some of them are wants to take the current account balance because they come to the bank on a daily basis. They need to check. There is no online as now access to balances and all. There is no facility. So that is how the conventional banking commits. So now the banks need to focus because the customers are using latest technology. They have the devices, so they expect customer demands from the bank. We want the efficient channel. If not, we will be shifting our banking transaction altogether to different locations. That is how the development taking place. Right now, if you really look at it, uh, the economy, yes, continue to every economy expected to grow. That's what you say. Every GDP, we need to improve our GDP. Every country trying to do their best to increase the level of their public well-being, right? So their consumer pattern are changing, their incomes are getting increased, there are more literacy levels are increasing, the people finding good job, there are opportunities. So the living standard of the people increases par with the technology. So there are so customer preference, more alternative channel. They don't like to go to the banks anymore. They don't like to waste their time anymore. They want to do the banking transaction while on the move, some of them, especially the business crowd. So let us say how the recent trends, high adaptability of technology, yes, definitely increasing literacy level. So literacy is educational, where the people can read and write, and that level, when you take Sri Lanka, our literacy levels are fairly very good compared to other countries in this region, right? Where people can read and understand. That is called literacy level, right? Enhanced spending power. Yes, when the people lifestyle changes and the literacy level increases, definitely they will have more income to spend. So their spending power also getting enhanced. Growing consumption. Yes, consumptions. People want different type of goods and services. So fastest economic growth over the decade. Yeah, every country aspiring they need to grow better than the previous years. So that is how everybody's life, including country, has to move forward. So there is economic growth expected in every country. So as a result, people consumption level changes. Their needs the latest delivery. So when the information technology coming into all the field, their way of doing business, their way of doing transaction also changes. So they don't like to go anymore to the banks and do banking transaction. They prefer the bank to deliver efficient delivery channels so that they are also comfortable and make the time safe, right? So let us see how the bank strategies. So bank need to be aware of this customer paradigm shift of more towards the efficient delivery channel. So bank need to focus their strategy aligned with this requirement. So how the bank doing? Bank have a retail banking. Every bank, the retail banking is the core business of banking. You have a corporate, you have SME, but the retail banking is where the delivery channels come into force, where most of the individual customer want efficient delivery channel. That is where the retail banking is focused. So when it comes to delivery, the mass more population is comes into retail, which is we are talking about individual customer. So when it comes to delivery, we always focus more towards the retail banking. Corporate banking, up to certain extent, yes, they also want efficient and delivery channel used by the bank, but the retail customers get the priority over the corporate because that segment is limited segment. But when it comes to, if you take the customer base, some bank may have 5 million, 6 million customers, maybe Bank of Ceylon might have 10 million customers. That is the retail bank base. So they have to look at it, look after the majority of the customer, how they can keep them happy. How can that customer base can be retained? That is where the strategy need to be. So every bank focusing, okay, how best we could have our co-banking. What is co-banking? That is their main computer system where the data of all the customers are input. So the co-banking is the computer system, main computer system of any bank is called co-banking. So the bank need to improve their co-banking because what happens when you don't improve your co-banking system, then it cannot support to take interface the new technologies. So your core banking system should be very latest. If you have old system, a bank carrying out their day-to-day operation with the older system, which cannot support it to improve the new delivery channel, then that particular bank may face difficulties, maybe fading away from the market because they are not anymore competent to deliver effective delivery channel where the system do not support. So every bank is aspiring to have a latest co-banking system. That is what you could see. This co-banking system is something that you can't go and buy with this couple of lakhs or millions. It is costing some banks investing billions, right? Billion. So it's so costly because when you go for co-banking system, it's very expensive because you are buying latest technology. So the latest technology, definitely the service provider, the tech company who provide these services, definitely will charge more because they also put a lot of efforts to build up this system. So whenever the co-banking system, when banks are upgrading their co-banking system, they need to ensure their strategy is focused on future. Because the future is definitely everybody tech savvy. Tech savvy means everybody are into tech savvy. That means you are into, when you make tech savvy mean they are focusing more to do on technology driven product. That is called you are tech savvy person. When you say somebody called I'm a tech savvy person, he is a person do lot of transaction using the latest technology. So you are become a tech savvy person. Tech savvy mean SAVVY. Tech savvy mean you are into technology. So that is, so every customers are tech savvy. Everybody carrying a mobile phone, latest phone with them. So the smartphone is helping them to do banking easily, right? So where the bank focus also towards them because bank need to retain them. That is their retail customer base. They can't afford to lose this. So they always ensure they introduce all latest product who they are because the system has to support. If your core banking doesn't interface this new system, then you are outdated. So every bank focusing their core banking, what is happening outside, what is the latest technology in the market, in the globe, how customer expectation, because they are also using this new delivery, these latest IT tech-savvy devices like nature of laptop, smartphones, all this they are using, internet, laptop, everything those people are using. So they also prefer these delivery channels are more focused on those devices, right? So the branch banking channel will remain there because that is whatever said and done. Though the latest delivery comes, the branch banking doesn't mean that it is no important anymore. No, it is important. It is important. Branch banking is important. Simultaneously, bank need to focus on the latest delivery channel too. But what happens when you have effective delivery channel? If you take example, say a branch where when you go for 10 years ago, they have a counters, right? There is a withdrawal, deposit, inquiry, a lot of balanced inquiry, a lot of counters are there. Now, if you go to the bank now, the structure is completely changed because they deploy the cash deposit machine, they deploy ATM. Some banks in head office, if you go, 3-4 machines are there. So, given the customer walking in, there is no necessary for him to be in the queue. All the devices are there, all the machines are imposed. So they deploy, the banks are invested millions of money to have these latest technology driven devices. Machines are there, automated, most of the operations automated. So they simply don't need to go to the counter. The counter traffic is eliminated totally. So that is the bank strategy. So what happened when a bank's branch staffs can be now focused more on marketing rather than the processing. So they changes now diverse, they expand. So the staff can go into more marketing because the day-to-day activities can be looked after by the expensive machines. So the branch staff can be used for marketing, go for inventing new product, meet the client, and see what is happening in the market, how best we could improve the technology, what are the latest technology introduced. That is what the focus are now, right? That is the bank strategy. So yeah, most of the customers, they don't like to go to branch anymore unless it's really required. They used to go to simply, just simply look at your day-to-day life. Will you go to electricity board to pay your bill? Will you go to water board? Will you go to SLT to pay your telecom bill? No, nobody goes. But there are few people. There are certain segment, elderly segments. Still, they don't like to use the channel. That is there in every market. What happened? When the technology comes in, there are certain senior people. They prefer to use their traditional, conventional method. They like to see the paid rubber stamp is there in the electricity bill. Then only they are happy because their lifestyle is they're used to that. So it's very difficult for a bank to convince such kind of a people to switch on to the latest delivery channel. That is exceptional. That is accepted. That is justifiable because you can't expect the entire community, entire population of the country moving to IT. No. When you look at the younger generation, they are moving. So you could see other 10 to 20 years when the elderly people are born, it will be different paradigm shift of banking. You will see different structure, right? Right. That is what expected, right? So the more customers fading away to go to physical branches, some of them are still doing some elderly people because people like the other delivery channel. You can write down something on for your clarity purposes. Banks are more focusing. Banks are more focusing. Banks are more focusing to utilize the modern delivery channel. Modern delivery channel in order to fulfill the increasing customers demand. In order to fulfill the increasing customers demand. In order to fulfill the increasing customers demand. Right? And you can say increasing customer demand. Over the last decade, over the last decade, you can see last 10 years, a lot of development took place, right? Over the last decade, banks have made large investments. Banks have made large investment over the decade. Banks have made large investment in technology, in technology, in technology to reduce their in technology to reduce their operational cost and improve the customers experience and improve the customers experience apostrophe s, improve the customers experience. So you can also, last para you can say, banks are offering digital banking channel. Banks are offering digital banking channel such as internet banking, mobile banking, to deliver best quality services, with the intention to retain the customer base, 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 while expecting to reduce the operating cost, and thereby reduce the operating cost and thereby increase the profitability in order to keep the stakeholders expectation. What do you mean by stakeholders here? Anybody can say, give me example of stakeholders. Who are the stakeholders of the bank?
Customers,
employees,
Stakeholders mean, yeah, employees, one of them. Yes. Who are the other main stakeholders? The shareholders. Shareholders are more concerned about the banking performance. The shareholders are there, right? Yeah, as you said, staff, employees are concerned because they need to have a job security. Shareholders are coming on the top because they are only invested in the bank. So the shareholders are the person who bought the shares of the bank and he invariably invested into the bank, and he need to ensure the bank is doing well. That is the stakeholders. So the shareholders, example, stakeholders, you can say example, in order to keep the expectation of the stakeholders or fulfilling the stakeholders' expectation. Example, shareholders, employees, right? And depositors, yeah, depositors also concerned about the bank. Depositors, creditors, whoever lending to the bank, creditors. So all these people are example, right? Stakeholders mean shareholders, employees, depositors, creditors. Even government is concerned because they get the revenue from you. So even government, right? These are stakeholders, right? Okay, we are moving on to the next slide. Type of banking delivery channel. You could see a type of banking channel on the top. Branch banking comes in there. Now, all others we consider as branchless banking. Even ATM can come into both sides. Most of the ATM machines are in the branch premises. So somebody might say it's a branch, part of the branch, but there are locations. It is in an isolated place. Also, you can get the ATM. Therefore, it could be considered eventually a branchless bank. So ATM comes as a generally you can tag them under branchless bank. Other than the branch banking, other than you go to physical location, all others are called branchless banking. Branchless. There's no physical place, right? There is a device. You go and take your service. That is ATM, internet banking, mobile banking, credit card, debit card, post. All that is comes there. E-wallet, kiosk, and agent banking. And there are the list is expanding. We never know. There could be one or two technology-driven product that in there, right? QR code. During last 2 years, the QR code become popular. So you can have QR code. Even don't think that these are main one I have listed. You can still include it under branchless banking, call centers. Call centers also branchless banking. You simply call the bank and get the services. Call centers also you can include. If you want, you just jot down call centers, right? Those also considered as a branchless banking, call centers, right? So these are considered as a branchless banking. So this is where people, over a period of time, how the banking has been evolved in the last 2 to 3 decades. Branch banking. So this is the conventional where you have a physical presence. You call it branch banking. How do you call that? Brick and mortar. Brick and mortar means that is when you have a physical structure, you call brick and mortar. BRICKMOTOR. Brick and mortar means bricks, and you can put bricks, BRICKS, and mortar. MORTR. Mortar. R silent, mortar. Brick and mortar means it's a physical structure where you can see and you go to a particular place. Brick and mortar means anywhere, any part, any industry you have when you have a sale outlet, it's called brick and mortar, where you have a place to do business. The place is called brick and mortar. So the branch banking is one of the brick and mortar still in existence, right? So the locations are there. Every bank has a location. That is what you call branch banking. Many large and small uses branch banking in order to extend reach. Yeah, definitely everybody having a branch network. Why? They want to see that particular region populations are banking with them. While head office being here, you can't target each and every areas to those people to come all the way. So you need to have branch net. Now people might say branches are not required, while you can get the customer on board online. So those are latest technology. That doesn't mean you're going to close down your branches. Yeah, the people prefer to go to the physical branches because there are certain still, if you take the entire population, maybe 20 to 30 people or maybe 40% still prefer to go to bank, physical branch. They don't like technology. Maybe younger generation, about 30 to 40 younger generation might use this, or in between generation might prefer, or they are in between. They are either, some of them do branch banking and some of the transactions they prefer to do online. They are in between. So those segments are there. Therefore, the branch is still important for any bank to be in existence. They should have branch banking because each and every location they go and put, that location crowd, that location region population is banking with them. So they have eventually a customer base. So the physical presence is also important. While we are talking about technology, you need to have physical. That is how the banks have been over a period of time. Now, if you take Bank of Ceylon, they might say we have about 400 to 500 branches. People bank might equally be also same trend. A private bank, commercial HNB might come and say we have about 250 over, 270 over. Sampat Ceylon might come and say we have a branch network more than 200. So why they have such a huge network? Because they need to know, they need to cater to all the segments. They need to include everybody into the banking. Unbanked people taking into the banking channel, you call financial inclusion. you have to include them into the financial. So unbanked people need to be included. That is only way to have the branches also. So each type of location considered as branch bank, right? So what are the advantage of branch banking if you really look at it? Economic of large scale operation. Yes, definitely you have economic of large scale operation. If you have a branch, you have all the customers are doing lot of transactions. So you eventually your bank branch might have 600,000 customers. So that is the bigger customer base in that respective region area. Spreading of risk. Yes, you are spreading the risk. When you have a branch network, say a Bank of Ceylon have 500 branches island wide. So they are spreading risk. If one segment is not doing well, other segment doing well because they have the branch presence island wide. Say fishing industry is not doing well. If they are only open for the down south people, whoever doing this seaside people where the bank's customers are there, if that industry not doing well, the bank has to shut down. But branch, when you have a branch island wide, if a one economic sector is not doing well, meaning the others are doing well. So you have customer base spread. So that is where spreading risk is there in the branch. If you have island wide branch network, when one geography area is not doing well, meaning others may doing well. So you have spreading. You are spread. You are not concentrated. Spreading this means you are not concentrated into one area. That is not good. So, for example, say you only focus into Colombo business people, then you are not doing anything else. Then it's high risk because your risk is concentrated to only one segment. That is not good. You have to spread. You have to diversify. That is when you have a branch is island wide, you are spreading your risk. You are giving loans to all type of people in respective region. Economy of cash reserve. Yes. What happened when you have economy of cash reserves? Say, if you have if a Bank of Ceylon or HNB or commercial might have a regional office in Kandy, right? And the Kandy regional office covering about 10 to 20 branches in that region. So what happened when they have excess liquidity? They don't need to transfer to Colombo to the head office. They can utilize the reserve within that network region so that reserve can be utilized efficiently. So what happened if you don't have that concept, if you don't have branches, then all the way the one branch is there is no other branches network closely, then the entire cash has to come back to Colombo branch. Very expensive. But if you have branches shattered in the island, what happened? The cash reserve can efficiently manage. Because what happened, head office only has the facility to keep a lot of cash. Every bank, if you take, the head office have a separate vault, bigger vault, because that is the case cash. That is the base. That is the head office. So they only where the entire cash vault is there, right? But that doesn't mean a branch has to send their entire cash to the head office all the way. It's very costly. So they can efficiently manage because a lot of branches are there. If a one branch has excess liquidity, they will switch on to the branch that want cash. Okay, every day you have a surplus position, deficit position. Because what happens when a customer, most of your branch customers are coming to withdraw money, that branch might need more cash. Or ATMs also, you can see they are loading. Cash are withdrawn in a situation like this. The last Friday when the curfew was quarantine curfew was infused, right? You would have seen the crowd at the ATM. Every ATM machines were loaded, right? They have to load extra cash because that is the expectation, right? The people might come and take the money for emergency people. They know they are unable to take the physical cash. They can do online. You can do everything online, but there are people who need to purchase physically because there are certain requirement you need to go and buy. Pharmacy or grocery shop, they don't accept credit card, right? So you need to have economic cash reserve. Meaning is you are well managing a reserve. You need not to send the excess or you need not to take the cash. If you are short cash all the way from Colombo to Kandy, is not required because the Kandy you have close proximity. You have so many branches that branch can manage their cash efficiently, right? That is what. Diversify deposit. Yeah, you know, branches are diversify their deposit and assets. Yeah, they take the deposit from various geographical area and they lend. They give the loan to different people. Proper use of capital. Yes, proper use of capital means the proper use of capital meaning the banks has diversified their branch network Therefore, the capital is spread. So everywhere there is opportunity for bank to utilize their part of capital in the form of a branch, and that branch is doing well. Then the business is well set, and every corner you get a transaction taking place. So your you in other words, your branch network, when you have more network, your capital is maximum utilized. So you spend a lot of capital expenditure to form a branch, right? So there you get a lot of business coming in. So like say a business want to expand, they put a branch in other part of, say, a restaurant. One restaurant is there, but they want to expand. They might go and put a branch in other area, right? If you see some textile shop, they have branches all over the place. If you can No Limit or Cool Planet, they have all the place. What is that expansion meaning? Because they are using their capital proper use to having branch network, so they have exposed to a lot of customers. They can accommodate a lot of customers. That is equal proper use of capital. Better facilities to customer. Yeah, if you have a branch network, you need to have car parking facility. The branch lobby is there, so the customer can enjoy that facility. That is the other facility. Banking facility in backward areas. Yes, as I told you, a bank can't take their own decision to set up a branch the area they prefer, because they have to get approval. Whenever a particular bank wants to open a new branch, they have to go to the central bank. There is the application. You have to fill the application. There are a lot of questions for there. Why you are prefer to open a branch in this? What is the study you have made? What is the customer base? What is the age mix? What is the gender mix? Everything they ask the question, right? So when they fulfill all the question and they submit, let's say Bank of Ceylon want to open a branch in one of the rural area in Anuradhapura. So at that particular spot, what is the population? Who are the people already in existence? What are the other competitors banks are there? Why do you want to select that area? So they analyze a lot of data, right? And they want to make sure the entire country having banking facility, because they want to make sure unbanked population getting into the banking system. That is where the branches are. Banks are also opening branches where they want to get a new customer base coming into their custody, right? So that is where the backward areas coming in. Effective control. Effective control means definitely you should have more control, because the branch network. If you have a computer system, I mean, if you have an automated system, then you can effectively control your branch network. But simultaneously, this also lead to some of the disadvantage of branches. Yeah, it's too complex. When you have 300, 400 branches, the problem management, yes, there could be branch manager can take his own decision and doing something in that area. There is no way head office is kept on monitoring it, its movements, right? So there is a flexibility where that particular customer can do certain indulgence. He will be very lenient to everybody. Lenient to staff. The branch is not doing well at all. You would have seen some of your banks that you are working. Some branches are not doing well. Why? That is, head office can't control everybody. So that is eventually a problem in managing too much of branches. Also, there is a problem because every time when you put a branch manager, it all depends how the leader running that business. The leader is proper, is very strict, is a balanced person, then of course that particular branch may do well. So you would have seen in your bank some branches are not doing well at all, because sometimes when you see a branch not doing well, when a new branch manager, assistant manager goes to the particular branch, you can see over a period of time that not doing branch doing very well over a period of 2 to 3 years. That is because they are individuals who makes the difference. That is the leadership quality, who goes and align with the staff and identify the potential and then deliver. That is where the efficiency of the individual. That is either comes with experience, comes with the building up a relationship with customer. That over a period of time you have people. So more expenditure. Setting up a branch is not at all easy anymore. It's better to install ATM machine rather than putting up a branch. Some of the banks are doing it. Some of the banks feel there's ATM machine to be an awkward area. They want to install ATM machine because they don't want to put a branch there, because a lot of branches are already there. A lot of other banks are there, but they want to see their presence installing ATM machine. That again, you have to get approval from central bank. You can't just install ATM without the location you prefer. You need to give a reason out why we are going to have ATM machine in this location. Some of the bank you would have seen, in an awkward area, they have a network. They have an ATM machine only installed. That is to ensure they don't have close proximity in the ATM machine. When a customer goes bypassing that area, they are looking for their branch. It's not there. So, but the ATM machine is there. So that is some other uh, uh, initiative banks are taking, because putting up a branch is very expensive. You need to have a car parking, you need to have a lobby, you need to have administration cost, security costs, insurance cost, vault, everything is costly, right? Expensive. Lack of initiative. Yes, if the branch manager is not very enthusiastic person, it's then lack of initiative. Even staff morals are very down. They are, they are a bit immoral because they are not motivated at all, right? Monopolistic tendency. What do you mean by monopolistic tendency? Monopoly. What is monopoly mean? Domination. Monopoly is dominating. Somebody dominating is called monopoly. If you say what is dialogue, when dialogue was there, dialogue can be monopoly in mobile. Then you see Mobitel came, then Airtel came, then others, Action, all these players came. Then they have to be a bit uh, lesser. Their monopolistic tendency has to be reduced, because uh, then what happens if you have a monopolistic tendency? So example is, say Bank of Ceylon, People's Bank already there in one region because they are bigger bank. But a small bank want to put up a branch, say Pan Asia Union want to put up a branch over there, that's going to affect them, because already People's Bank, Bank of Ceylon having a large client base. Then Union Bank or Pan Asia or small bank putting a branch over there going to be a tough. That is called monopolistic tendency, because the branch is already dominating there, having bigger branches, especially bigger banks, right? Especially bigger bank like Bank of Ceylon, People's Bank, HNB, Commercial, probably Sampat. These are bigger banks. Ceylon. These are bigger banks. So the smaller bank might have a tendency, monopolistic tendency. Inefficient branches, yeah. The branch is not efficient. As I told you, it all depends who is the leader of the branch. That is why inefficient branches. They are not doing well, not motivated. Some of the branches are very, very efficient. So you would have seen some of the branches are very efficient. Sometimes when you go to a particular branch, you can see it's not at all efficient. Totally, thoroughly unorganized. Some of the people, even security guard, including starting from security guard. So remember, the success story of a branch is coming from the security guard itself. I don't know whether you observe. Sometimes when you go to some of the branches, how smart the security guard is. We are not putting him down. He is the person first direct you to the entrance. So if he's saying, "Good morning, sir, welcome," and open the door, you are astonished. I mean, you feel better, and you have been identified, and these particular spirits are saying good morning. Sometimes when you go to branch, they don't even talk. Just they open the door, or you may have to tell. Then they just open the door. No communication whatsoever. That is initiative taken by the efficient branch manager. Keep the security guard informed every time when person comes. You have to allow the person to park the car in a orderly manner. When the person getting out of the vehicle, just say, greeting the person, "Good morning, sir." You can, whatever you direct the particular person, where the entrance, where the car should be parked, where in the rainy days, where the umbrella should be kept. All this is an initiative, right? As a branch manager, these are something that every branch manager should inculcate, these initiatives. So that is where the difference between inefficient branches and efficient branches, right? Adverse linkage effect. Adverse linkage effect is like this. When you have taken 30 or 40 branches, there are 5 branches not doing well. So they are getting a cover under the best branch doing well. They are getting cover because at the end of the day, their result is published. The branch result is not individually published. So that is where adverse linkage effect. Say one branch is exceptionally less. Bank of Ceylon, Candy branch is doing very well, but not Katakastota. Katakastota is not doing well, but Katakastota can be everybody attached to one Bank of Ceylon branches. So that is called adverse linkage effect. Though the one branch is not doing well, that will impact the entire branch network, because this branch also part of the branch network. Whereas Candy doing well, so when they doing well, they make more profit, more than the target. What happened? That is compensated by this not doing well branch, Katakastota. That is called adverse linkages, because all these banks are attached to one network. So when one is doing well, other one is not doing well, both are connected to one, then it's called adverse linkage effect. So end of the day, everybody getting same bonuses. So some banks do understand they have a performance bonus. So how do you feel after doing all the effort? Candy branch, Bank of Ceylon Candy branch manager doing exceptionally well, innovative things. Whereas Katakas, that not branch manager not doing anything extraordinary. He's just carrying on with the day-to-day activity. That is not going to help. People are not happy, right? Then end of the day, if the Candy branch manager and the Katakostata branch manager getting the same bonuses or whatever financial benefit, then it's called adverse linkage effect. That is what both are connected. So this is where in the problem in the branch network, right? So where the person underperforming covered under the under the person who is doing very well, right? Branchless banking. We are moving to branchless banking. This is what the current trend is. Looking to traditional banking method, the need for alternative delivery channel in banking sector emerged. Yes, a few way of servicing the customers. Yeah, there's so many ways that you could say. The main alternative delivery channel in banking sector was included. Yeah, ATM. You know, ATM when ATM came. Uh, ATM came. Anybody tell me when the ATM came into Sri Lanka? Somewhere 86, right? Somewhere 86 ATM came. Then the credit card came in 89. Then we have the debit card came in well after 1997, right? Then different channel came in different. So these are all very efficient. ATM I would say after 86 Sri Lankan banking taken into different way. So the being go to the queue and all being reduced because when you have ATM machine you can do it is 24/7 operation, right? So after 86 the entire banking system in Sri Lanka taking different dimension, right? With the introduction of ATM, but with the introduction of internet, that is in Sri Lanka, I think 1999 to 2000, that period only the internet came into fully fledged operation in Sri Lanka, 1999. Then the banks have been taken to totally different paradigm shift. It's called definitely a paradigm shift. So it is up to now. You can see from 2000 to 2021. If you take last two decades, the delivery channel is a different ball game altogether, right? So everybody doing using these channels, right? So without these channel, you can't even now think of, right? So you could see because of these effective delivery channel, how convenient, though with the present situation, everybody confined to home, you do your entire things without any problem. Just imagine if these delivery channels are not there, what would have been the situation? Right? If the only ATM machine is there, people has to be queuing the ATM machine to take their money. Not only then, how do they pay the utility bills? And there will be separate day declared by the government to today is the day everybody has to pay electricity bill. Everybody has to pay the water bill. Think of scenario. Now see, the entire everything has been taken off. Whether you want to channel a doctor, whether you want to buy anything online, whether you want to pay your utility bill, whether you want to do a fund transfer, whether you want to check the balance. While at home, you are doing everything. We don't even realize where are we now, right? So where were we were at about 2 to 3 decades ago, where we are now. With the 86 introduction of ATM, uh, the paradigm shift started. In 1999, with the introduction of internet, it's altogether totally different paradigm shift, totally different paradigm. It's a bigger change, right? So the main benefits of auto delivery channel is very reduced operating cost. Yeah, you can see the operating cost is very much minimized. You yourself just think of while doing this internet banking, how much cost you can save. Think of you don't have anything, you have to go to ATM to withdraw money. Think of you have to walk, either you have to drive your vehicle to take the money, right? You have to go to pay your electricity bill, be in the queue and make the payment. You have to pay your water bill. You have to pay your telecom bill, dial-up bill, right? Or your TV delivery, whatever TV channel you have or whatever, Pure TV or whatever, if it's a different channel, you have to pay that subscription for that TV channels. So see the amount of time you're spending, see the amount of cost you have. Within the few seconds, all the payments are you are making. Within 1 minute, you can make all your utility bills, right? Within 1 minute, some of them are doing within a 1 minute. Everything is settled, right? That is the beauty of internet. right? So the online banking, internet has taken us to different shift, right? So you need to be definitely there could be question of this nature will come into the your exam paper. So this delivery channel definitely questions because I don't think they can't afford to miss this. They will definitely question this area. One of the very important area delivery channel. It is relevant. It is more relevant current context, right? Let us look at ATM. ATM is, computerized machine, self-service machine. It has predefined functions, right? Enable the customer to pay. So, yeah, you can withdraw cash, make deposit, pay bills, you do the fund transfer, everything. I would like to know, asking a question. Now, you go to ATM and you do fund transfer to any banks, any branches. What is that technology? What is that system is identified as? Where you go to ATM, you got the question, where you go to ATM and you want to do a fund transfer to a particular bank of other branch, you can do through ATM now. What is that?
Left.
What is that? What is that? What is that? Somebody answer the question. Yes, what is that? What is it? I'm not hearing you properly. What is that technology?
Theft.
SEFT, yes.
CEF.
Yeah, CEFT, yes. Common Electronic Fund Transfer Switch, yes. SEFT. With the SEFT only, everything become much easier. Thanks to central bank and the ARBA. Because central bank has put a lot of efforts to make all the banks into common platform. That is their priority. They successfully did that. I think we moved to SEFT in 2015. We moved into SEFT in 2015, right? All the branches were connected. With that only banks started including cash management services. Every bank offering that particular product because of everyone is connected. Simply, if you have a bank account, you have online banking, e-banking, you can transfer to any person in Sri Lanka within Sri Lanka in healthcare. There is no problem. If you just mention the bank and the branch name and the account number, its name, its bank name, branch, account number. That's all you require to do the fund transfer. So just think of how convenient it was. Not think of. We never thought of this kind of facility will come. While at home, you can send it. If some person want the money, those days we have to say whether you have a bank account. When I go to the bank, I do the fund transfer. All that story was there even 20 years ago. But now, with the introduction of even ATM was there with a limited function. You can't transfer funds, you can transfer within your account. Transfer into other banks was not there, very limited operation, even through ATMs. But with this SEFT, you can do everything. After 2015, you do anything you want now, right? Fund transfers or whatever. So ATMs scattered, yeah, about I think about 85,000 or more than closer to 88,000 machines are installed island-wide of all the banks. So that is one of the better way the banking function can be done through the ATM machine. Yes, you have seen all those ATM machines are there. You know what are the functions. They might ask the question. These are simple question, right? ATM perform. You get the cash dispensing, generating statement, account balance, fund transfer, request for a checkbook, deposit cash checks, utility payment. You can do any utility payment. Fund transfers also you can do any branch. Fund transfer earlier only same bank. Now you can do fund transfer to any branch, any banks within Sri Lanka in LKR. Right, electricity bill, telephone bill, water bill, or your internet TV connection or whatever, any utility payment you can do, right? Even education payment too. Advantages of ATM: withdrawal of cash at any time, day and night. Yeah, 24/7 operation. You always say 24/7 operation means all 7 days, 24 hours, 7 days. That means every day it's operate. That's what you call 24 into 7 operation. So that understood by that is fully operation. Entire day, every day the machine is on, unless there is a technical issue. The machine is on, right? You can withdraw multiple location, quick and efficient services. It is protected by PIN, keeping the money safe. Yes, there is no to fill withdrawal deposits with. Yes, there's no required. ATMs are faster than going no long line. Yes, when you go to a bigger branch, they might say, why can't you use the ATM machine, right? Okay. response is uniform and fixed. Unless it's a large withdrawal, you may have to go to the counter, not otherwise. Not otherwise. Majority of the transactions are you can easily do through the ATMs, right? Response in uniform and fixed. Yeah, response is uniform and fixed to all customers as per the program set. Yeah, so you have now going forward, bank might use those are the latest delivery channel. Maybe interface with biometrics like face recognition. You need not put a PIN number. Maybe when you go to ATM, it identifies. In developed country, those ATM machines are installed. Right? When you go there, it recognizes your face. You start operating. That's all. Right? Face recognition or biometrics, whatever physical part of human body. So that kind of a invention is going on globally, right? Disadvantage of ATMs. ATM may be offline. Yes, sometimes there is a technical issue. System is not connected. There is a system issue. Sometimes you say our ATM is not working. So that is a bit advantage, disadvantage. Fees charges to use ATM and other banks. Yeah, there is a fee attached to it. Sometimes you feel it is expensive, but if you really analyze your cost, still it's worth to do ATM transaction. If cardholder forget the PIN number, that's it. If you forget the PIN number, then you have to go for a new card. There's no way you could, you know the PIN number, nobody else. So you have to remember your PIN number. That doesn't mean you write the PIN number in big letters and keep it alongside with the card, and people have lost their money, remember. Don't ever think of doing it. Anybody, best advice at the moment they see the PIN number with the whatever the secret, the PIN number comes with very private and confidential document. You open it, there is a PIN number printed. Then you tear it and you know this small letter, 4 numbers are there. So once you remember the number, destroy that piece of paper. Don't keep it under any circumstances. Most of the people making biggest mistake, even with the same family members, when there are dispute, you have seen this is what that had happened. Brother taking his own brother's money because the brother kept the ATM PIN number. Whereas this has happened. This has come to the bank's cases, police cases, all this happened. So it's better destroy the PIN number. Remember, write down somewhere, or you remember. Don't write in big letters and keep it along with the card. That is a suicide. Don't do that, because some people do that. Because when the PIN number comes in small sizes, they write in big letter in their visiting card and keep it inside the ATM machine, keeping along with the ATM card, debit card. The PIN number written in big letters. So you are just allowing somebody to take the money, just like a cake pop, right? So don't do that. If cardholder forget the PIN number, that's it. Difficult to maintain. Yeah, if a person doesn't have a financial discipline, then it's become difficult every time he goes and takes the money. So that is again something that is individual nature, right? So those are something that you need to remember, right? We are moving on to the.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Go ahead.
Is the limitation of withdrawal also come under disadvantages?
Not really, actually. If you really see, the banks are allowing bank to bank have a difference. Some banks allow 200,000, some bank might allow 150,000. So that doesn't mean you can't call disadvantage, because your withdrawal of more than that amount is exceptional case. So you can't take it as a disadvantage and say as a limitation, because those are extraordinary withdrawals. If you really think of withdrawal, you and me, whatever your income you are spending, if the withdrawal can be within that within that limitation, I don't think you can consider that as a disadvantage, because that is exceptionally when one person wants to take 1 million. It's on exceptional case basis, not every time. So if you really look at it general terms, whatever money that you want, you go to the ATM and take the money, it's there always. But the limitation is put to safeguard the customer. That cannot be written as a disadvantage, because and anytime if a customer lost the PIN number, just see the advantage of if a bank has put 100,000, only the particular person, until the card is stopped, he might next moment he might go and take the money 100,000. But when he goes again, they will say no, not allowed. Or he might go and take it multiples, lesser amount. There are banks when there are multiple withdrawals are taking place, they will give an alert, SML alert to the person. So there are opportunities you can immediately stop it until you say you lost your ATM card and somebody picks up and go and withdraw the money, because you apparently put the PIN number also. with ATM card. Unfortunately, you lost the wallet. Somebody took it. So to safeguard that kind of a people, that kind of a operation, only the banks has a limitation. So that limitation actually to safeguard the interest of the cardholder. That cannot be. You can't say that as a disadvantage because that is very exceptional. Understood?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Internet banking, yes, the performance of the banking activities are via internet. You need to have a devices, you need to have tab boy, smartphone, then you need to have internet connection, then you do the banking. That's all. It can be online banking, web banking, e-banking, all are same, right? Internet banking. Internet banking is performed through the computer system or similar device that can connect banking via the internet, right? So internet. Good online bank will offer customers just about every service traditionally available through the branch bank. Yes, you have internet banking, you can do. How many of you using? Anybody not using internet? Everybody using. I hope everybody using, right? So if you feel my account can be hacked or whatever, remember when you do online, when you do e-banking, right? Internet banking, pay your utility bills, pay your fund transfers. Remember, the bank is spending so much of millions of money to safeguard the system. They deployed firewall, they deploy the virus guard, they deploy all the precautionary password. Your core banking system is well protected. So they're spending huge money to have this security system, right? Therefore, the chances of your internet account getting hacked is very remote. But remember, when you do online purchases, right, that you have to be very careful, because when you do online purchases, you are going from your unsecured, unencrypted email, which is your Gmail. But when you log into your internet banking, you are logging into your core banking system of the bank. So that is not that cannot be compromised. Nobody can hack that account, hack your operation, because bank has a firewall. Say you log into internet and do fund transfer. There's no problem in that. You can do your fund transfer. You are logging into your banking system. You have been allowed to do operating through your core banking system. You are given access to your core banking system once you put the password and the username. Then you have access to your own account and you can do fund transfer. You can switch on the balances from your own account. You do the fund transfer. All that is done. Nobody can hack that operation. Hacking will only come when you try to do online purchases by giving your account number, by giving your debit card number or credit card number, where you are on an unauthorized website. That is where you have to be very careful. So people confused and say, I don't like internet bank. That is wrong, right? Internet banking is where bank has spent huge money, millions of money to give the latest technology to the customer. That is, you have to enjoy, otherwise no use. I mean, if you don't have internet facility, no point, because you are totally outdated. And remember one thing, when you are working in a bank, if you don't utilize this product, you can't market the product, you can't tell the customer to utilize, right? So you need to be aware when we are talking about delivery channel, first hand, employees should use this technology driven product. Otherwise, how can you market to your customers? Because you yourself don't use it. You yourself don't have the faith in the system. Then how can you market your own product? So that is where some of the staff members are reluctant, but that's wrong. You can simply log into, go for a facility. Some of you, if you have not taken the internet facility, I would rather advise, go for internet facility. Try to use it, and then only you learn how the things are taking place. Because that's going to give a lot of insight to you, right? When you go log in, you check the balance, you want utility bill, everything you can, right? Within few minutes, within few seconds, you can do the payment. When the salary is credited, you want to make a utility bill, you register your utility account number, say electricity bill, water bill, telecom, you go and register. One time registration is done. Every time when you go, there is a list of registered bill. You can simply make the payment within second, right? Your account is evident, you get a reference number, write down the reference number in the bill itself with the date and amount. More than enough. That is enough. Whenever you do a payment through the online, there is a reference number. Once the transaction is over, the system will give you a reference number. This is the transaction reference. That reference number is right in the bill, and the date and the amount. More than enough. Then you are paid. If any dispute come, you can say this is the reference number. Under that payment can be checked. So there is no issue in utilizing internet. I would rather prefer everybody to use the internet banking. But when you do online purchasing, when the card details are given, because you are going on the public domain, like yahoo.com or at gmail.com. All this is a common platform. Your email can be hacked. Your account can be hacked. So those online purchases, you have to be very careful. You have to go for authenticated site. The site need to be very much known to you. Even sometime when you go and purchases, you don't see there is a dot. www maybe Amazon dot Amazon dot, that Amazon, within Amazon between there is a dot you didn't see. That is the unauthorized site. You are gone. Then you try to purchase it, you are gone and given your credit card, debit card details, expiry date, whatever the PIN code number is behind, then you are into problem. Because you have to be careful the site that you are visiting, doing online purchases. So that is up to the user. So that is where the problem is, right? So internet is financial service offered by, yes, account summary, overdraft, transaction details, fund transfer between own account, fund transfer to the other beneficiary, any payment you can make, e-payment facilities, online inquiry, utility bill. Bank also deliver their latest product service. Yeah, internet you can, when you log in, there is a pop-up messages are there where the bank giving their advertisement on their latest product. Say if you are a customer, you are using the internet facility, you are looking for housing loan, and there is a pop-up advertisement where he has been attracted by that message. So we are the lowest in housing loan. There's the ad is going on when you log into that particular bank internet site. There is an advertisement popping up. He reads it and he get a message. Better he calculate his income and he's trying to go for a loan. That could be sometimes some instant where this information can be attracted by the user. So that is something bank also taking advantage of advertising their product and services over the internet, right? Sometimes when you are confined to home, when you do, if you don't have any work, you might log into internet and see what type of transaction I can do. So when you are logging in, there are a lot of advertisements going on, virtual advertisements are going on. So one may attract you. So that is how the banks also upgrading. Other options, so you have a lot of options. You can manage your payment, you can keep a diary, you can make a standing order. All the options are there, right? So you have to log in. That's what I said. Before you study, you should know how the internet banking works for you. Then only you can easily understand it. If you are a person utilizing internet, these whatever mentioned here are known to you already. If you are not a person not using the internet, then you have to, everything you have to think and this is how imagine. You have to imagine and understand. Oh, this is how this can be done. So that's what my advice is. Everybody use the internet bank. If you don't, please take the facility and start using, because that's going to help you. Because that is where, if you are a banker, you should know. Otherwise, what is the point bank spending millions of money and having this system, and if you don't utilize internet banking, then it's in vain, right? Advantage of internet banking. Yes, internet banking is simple to open and easy to operate. Yes, very much easy. It's quite convenient. No second word about it. Very quite convenient. Easy to pay your bill, can transfer funds between account, etc. It's available all the time, 24/7, at any time, at anywhere. Yes, you can do anywhere at any time. See the beauty. While you are in overseas, you can do your utility bill. While in Canada, Australia, you can do. That is the beauty of internet banking. That is what everybody prefer, this internet bank. You need not be here. You can go to anywhere. Still, you can log into your account. How many of the non-residents want the banking to access their balances? So they are doing operations. They are doing local operation. While they are being other countries, they are local accounts. They do the operation because they are local. Disbursement can be done in rupees. They do the fund transfers, right? So these are beauty of technology. Very efficient. Yes, internet banking has definitely made the life easy of users. No second word about it, right? It's really made the people life very easier. You can do any transaction. Now just think of when you want food. Just think of, you go to the mobile phone, order, and it's delivered. Have you ever thought of these kind of services? Right? Some of you enjoy, right? You want some stuff, you have some money, bonus or whatever credit. You want to buy some light or whatever, you want to decorate your table. You saw some device. Just treatment.lk or whatever. So you have a lot of Vasi.lk, lot of insights are there. So you just log in, pay the bill, within 24 hours stuff is delivered to your place. sometimes if you really look at it, that is a very good deal. Whereas you don't buy the stuff, same stuff, even when you physically go to an outlet and electric shop and buy. Sometimes they give a lot of offer, the RAS and all this, they will give a 10%, 20% offer. Sometimes watch for this facility and start utilizing. These are some facility you have to enjoy, because when I say facility, remember these are financial benefit to you. You can't buy this product because when these people are offering this price, because their sales are mass sale. Say a particular person imported light, table light, right? He imported under 1,000 pieces. He's giving at a very attractive price because he's online, he's getting orders. Therefore, you can't buy the same light in a shop. Even 50% half the price you are getting it. Say 1,500 rupees, you are getting a nice lamp. If you go to a shop, it must be 3,000 or 2,500 if you go to any of those electrical shop or any outlet. But it's a good deal. Sometimes they might give a discount 50%. So I have seen some of the staff buying hundreds of items during the festival season. October, November, they buy for decoration item for Christmas in October, November. It's take delivery because it's coming from overseas. The suppliers are mostly in China. It's coming by way of aircraft. It takes 1 month to deliver. By the time when they have December, they have a very, very unique decorative items at a very cheaper price. They can't even think of buying in Colombo market. They can't even think of buying certain very unique product. So these are something you need to make use of. Try to see whether there are I'm not saying to enjoy the facility. What I'm saying is there are opportunities for you to buy certain things at a cheaper rate. That is something financially you are benefited. Look for those opportunities, right? Disadvantage of internet is security transaction is a big. Yeah, security, when it comes to security, when you are doing online business, you have to be very careful. You have to make sure that you do purchases through the correct website. That is where your security is concerned. It becomes difficult sometimes to note whether your transaction sometimes this happens. While you are making the payment, all of a sudden internet connection disrupted. The transaction, you don't know whether it was gone or not. All of a sudden the line dropped, internet connection. These are technical issues, right? These things could happen. I mean, nobody can stop this, right? So these happens. That doesn't mean every time it happens. Once in a way it happens, but still you don't know until you get SMS message, your account is debited, you never know, right? So that is what you have the SMS alert also. Remember, how many of you given the SMS alert to your online bank? Give the SMS alert. SMS alert is something, it's a real alert, right? Access is denied when the bank's server is down or non-available. Yeah, sometimes when the server is down or internet connection is down, you are unable to log in, right? Understanding the usage of internet banking might be difficult for beginners might understand. As the inception, elderly person using it might be difficult with a smartphone, because it's very tech-savvy person may operate it very efficiently, but not the elderly people. So they find it very difficult to operate the internet bank, right? Fear of misuse of the money hackers. Yeah, you have to be very careful with hackers, frauds. When you do online transaction, you have to be very careful and don't go and give your credit card details. Sometimes if you are using email, you get one email coming to you saying that you have been the price figure of $100,000. I have seen this email, not current context, because these hackers are now doing something else. So they are not focusing, because now they know people are at home, they will do a lot of investigation. But about two years ago, before this pandemic came in, there has been a lot of last 10 years these things happening. You get all of a sudden email or notification saying your email account has won a prize money of $100,000. You read that everything, right? And the last small letters, they say, in order to post this prize money, please remit $100 to this account. Log into this site to pay them. I have seen people log into that site and giving the data. Remember, this is a fraud. Don't get caught to this kind of a fraud. So people think I am a lottery, I got $100,000 and they are processing prize money. In order to process the prize money, they want a small fee of $50 and they are giving a link for me to go and pay. When you click the link, it's asking your credit data. Don't ever think of doing that. I have seen, despite of advising so many customers, some of the customers got into this and and they give the account number. And the no sooner they give the credit card number, all the details, they get SMS alert. Their card have been used in overseas, right? Immediately, they go to the bank and stop the card, and so by that time they would have lost some of the money. Some people even not aware because their card have been used because they are not activate the SMS alert. At least if you activate the SMS alert, you get an alert that your account has been used by someone. Then you can call the bank and stop it. Just think, if you don't have the SMS facility, alert facility, the entire amount would have gone. And when you get the credit card statement on, you see your card have been used by somebody. Then you are come to the bank and complain. The bank might say, look here, where did you use the card? Online. Then to see, he said, yeah, use it online to pay some lottery. These are real example I'm giving you, right? So you have to be very careful. You don't go to the unauthorized site. Make sure it's authorized site. Verify it before you give the details, your personal data. That's a credit card number, expiry date. Those are very, very important. Example, yes. So you can say internet banking facility. Internet banking facility is becoming one of the fastest. Internet banking facility is becoming one of the fastest growing technology. One of the fastest growing technologies. One of the fastest growing technologies that is playing significant role in the daily lives of human beings. Everybody using internet, huh? It's what did I say? Significant role in the daily lives of human beings. That means entire mankind, human beings. It involves delivery of banking services. It involves delivery of banking services at a lowest cost. With great convenience. At a lowest cost with great convenience. Right, so internet banking is something that you can't avoid, right? So it's very key to every bank, entire banking industry. Then we are looking at the mobile banking. You know what is mobile? Same thing. You do the transaction through the smartphone, mobile banking. You first use a smartphone, other cellular devices while you have a internet connection. Typically operate across all the major mobile service providers. Yes. So you can do through most of the people do the mobile bank. Just imagine, while you are walking also you can do the transaction if you have a mobile phone. If you have a tab or laptop or a computer at home, you do while you are seated. But mobile, while you are walking, while you are moving, you can do mobile bank. So it's again, business people mostly prefer this because they want to check the balance while they are driving the car. They can check the balance because it's connected to their mobile. So it's very much convenient, especially for business people and even individuals, right? It's very convenient. Yeah, you can have anytime banking, mobile gives you privilege of anytime, anywhere banking. Good security because this asks because you are logging into the secure method. Uh, Easy access. Yeah, if you have internet connection with your smartphone, easy access. More application for smartphones. Yeah, more application for smartphones. Yeah, with your smartphone, you can upload lot of software applications and do the mobile banking. So different application you can upload to your mobile smartphones. So a lot of applications are there. You can make payments, right? Various banking services could be enjoyed, yes, with a mobile phone. Some of you mobile phone, you order your keys, car keys, all this good stuff while people are confined at home. Everybody doing their marketing through the mobile phone because you want to order keys or whatever stuff. You go to the mobile, click that, and there's a you log into the website, whatever select item you and you go to the cart and you give the total amount. Then there is a payment method. You go and give your debit card or credit card. Payment is processed and you get a notification. Then the Kiosk will send a separate notification. Your order has been placed. It will be expected delivery time. Just imagine, just see how things are made the life easier. While at home you are doing a marketing, right? So this is where even a small scale try to do something. Even I'm not expecting you to do the entire marketing through the mobile device. Test and see. Even you order small amount or whatever and see whether it's working, how nicely it's working. Because these why I'm saying to access to this facility, because when you access only you see the real benefit. Then only you can market to your client. Otherwise, if you don't utilize, I have seen some of the latest technology are not used by the bank, but they are trying to market it to the customer. So I have seen some customer asking question, the bank employee unable to answer because they are not used to, right? Disadvantage is the security. Security is something that you have to be very careful with your mobile devices. You should not open while giving it to the phone to somebody. You have to, because the device is always with you. So you have to be very careful with the security. And again, you have to select. You have to be very selective when you're giving your information, credit card information. That is where the security threats are there. Compatibility. So yeah, every phone cannot do this. You need to have a smartphone to do that. Cost to pay data. Now the data are almost, it's a disadvantage. Now when the monopolistic tendency is gone, now everybody try to give more data, because you know why? When monopoly is there, one person, they say only dialogue there in the market, they will say all this text message, all that, they will have a one limited capacity and they will charge you 500 rupees, right? When there's a competitor comes in, when competitor offers same data package for 300, now dialogue has no option. Dialogue has to come down. That is where whenever the competition is there, the market is very intensive. When the market is very intensive, each player has to move their strategy not to lose the customer. So they have to remain in the market with the customer. So they have to compromise their profitability. They have to reduce their package. That is the beauty of when you have a tight competition in the market. It is example of bank also. One bank cannot come and say we are the only bank issuing credit card, our charge is so much. No, there's other banks offer the same product at a lower rate. So every bank is par. Every bank. So when there are tight competition in any industry, the advantages goes to the consumer, because the consumer get the most benefits. That is where what happened. Though I said there is a cost, now it become a cheaper because every mobile communication provider giving a variety of unlimited facility for their mobile users, right? That is become now e-wallet. This is something same, but you name it as e-wallet because this is again the same operation. You just simply give a call e-wallet. Internet banking, use your credit card, debit card and make the payment. That is what you call e-wallet. Again, you will have your debit card, credit card, you online do all the purchases. That again, a way of doing your payments, right? This is again online, you go to a particular website. When you want to buy something, you use your credit card and debit card and buy it. That is your e-wallet. So if you have a debit card or credit card with the international brand, it becomes e-wallet. You can purchase anywhere you want, right? Says this advantage of this e-wallet or the carrying debit card, credit card, international branded. Even if you go to any country, sometimes what happen, this practice, I'm sharing with you some experience. This has happened. Sometimes when you go to a particular country, say you want to go to India or India, let's say India. When you go to India, you take dollars from here, you go to the bank, use the rupees, take the dollar and go. And you convert again, when you go dollar, you will either pay dollar or you have to convert the dollar into Indian rupees and pay. Some other people from here, they take the Indian rupee and go. It depends on the purpose. Sometimes people think, if I take the dollar, more beneficial because I get more Indian rupee for dollar in India, because India short of dollars, so I prefer to take dollar. Some people might take Indian rupee. You can't take Sri Lanka rupee and go. Remember, Sri Lanka rupee cannot be used any country. It is not a designated currency. You have to convert your own currency into other currency when you are traveling abroad, right? That is everybody know, right? You can't take your rupee, you can't take your 5,000 rupee, go to India and convert into Indian rupee. No, you can't do that because rupee is not a designated currency. It is used within Sri Lanka. But if you want to go to India, you can take. So anybody in the world prefer to use dollar because dollar is globally accepted currency, right? So you want to take a dollar to India, so you convert into Indian rupee, you purchase something, right? At that time, the Indian rupee what you are given, sometimes when you purchase it, you see it costs you a certain rate. You do the same purchasing, just giving that person has not taken anything when he traveled. He just simply taken his 2 cards and went. He has not converted into rupee, take dollar. No, he has just taken 2 cards. So he went and gave the card to the merchant, and this account is debited. To see, end of the day, the transaction costing him is cheaper than the person who has taken the dollar and convert and bought the stuff. So it's sometimes you really see its advantage because the rate what you got, because what happened, let me explain. Now say you have a LKR limit, you have a debit, you have a credit card. Let's say you have a credit card, you have a 100,000 limit. You go to India, right? When you go to India, you purchase something, there is a shop. They do accept all the card. In India, every shop has a card. The POS machine is there. So you say you are giving a Visa Master. There is no problem. Any Visa Master card is success. So they take buy and their bill is come to Indian rupees 5,000 rupees, right? So when they want Indian rupees 5,000, they swipe 5,000 rupees India. Automatically, you get a message from your card, banking, your card, international credit card. You get a message 5,000 Indian rupee is converted at the rate of so much, and your LKR, your card is so much rupee is used. So you get a rupee amount. So if you really convert the 5,000 into rupee amount, the better rate you got, rather than taking currency all the way and converting into that. So sometimes you get a benefit of using the debit credit card. That is one of the benefit of e-wallets, right? So better to use those debit credit card internationally. You get benefit. Not every outlet, it depending on, right? So depending on not outlet, depending on the country that you visit, right? Advantage of e-wallet. Ease of use, yes, definitely. It's like just click or pay, just simply a press of a button. Ease of access. There no need to physical wallet like we do in the cash. Yeah, you can do while online shopping. You can do. This is interconnected with multiple platforms such as bank account, credit card, debit card, mobile account, and bills, and help to better management. It's like everything under one roof. Yeah, if you're having e-wallet, whatever you want to purchase, you can do everything online, right? You purchase. Now see, while at home, you have a debit card and credit card. Tell me, but can't you do that? You can purchase anything, provided you have money in your account. You purchase everything what you want while seated at home. Yes or no? Answer is yes. That is the advantage, right? That is where the people are asking for. Mobile network connectivity is a bigger impediment. Sometimes your mobile connection is not there. Sometimes you are unable to access. Misuse of their money by hackers, yeah, that you have to be very careful. Internet always hackers are there, frauds can take place unless you have to be very careful in using your card. Yeah, it doesn't cater to entire, yeah, because this everybody can't afford to buy a credit card, debit card. It doesn't cater to entire population. Yes, that could be, you can write as a disadvantage when you take the population. So everybody do not have credit cards. Only people have permanent income only can go for credit card. Remember, debit card, something that you can utilize. That is, you are taking money from your own card is called debit card. So remember the difference between debit and credit card. Debit card is connected to your account. Credit card is a line of credit extended to the bank depending on your income. So because you need to pay whatever you are buying out of your credit card is a kind of a short facility given by the bank, right? Within that limit you can utilize. Then you will be sent a bill monthly for you to pay with the minimum charges and the total outstanding. So that is where the difference between credit and debit card. So it is connected to your account debit card. Credit card is a line of credit facility extended to the customer by the bank. It's kind of a facility, loan facility, right? So there, it is not catered to every population when it comes to credit card. Of course, debit card is, yeah, everybody has a debit card now. What is kiosk banking? It is also mostly European country. When you go to most of the European country, it's the same ATM machine, but in a bigger screen. You call kiosk. A kiosk is not only used for banking, even kiosk is when you want to. I don't know whether you would have seen some machines in Sri Lanka also. Have you seen you can buy some foods in the machine? Have you seen that? Some of you would have seen some, right? Some of in some banks also I have seen. Some of the banks install this machine in their cafeteria area where you can pay money and buy. It's a bigger navigation screen. You put your money and whatever stuff you order, you get it. And newspaper, soft drinks, chocolates, food items are sold in the kiosk machine. So the same machine technology used for banking also. You get a bigger screen to navigate. You do all the because when you in most of the European country, what happened? They have a small building, one navigation machine, one kiosk machine is installed, and there's a one person only there. That is their branch. That is the branch of the bigger bank. The person there for any advisory services. Other than that, everything you can do through this bank. You can see bigger screen. It's like a kind of ATM with more internet facility connected. You do everything under the bigger screen. That is kiosk. So it has more function connected. It has more function connected to this navigation screen where you do a lot of transactions, right? So that is called kiosk. Kiosk is a machine. It's a bigger screen machine. Like I have given you some example here. You can see the screen. It has little bigger shape because some of the machine that has food and all, you get a refrigerator also. Some of the machines with a refrigerator, their food stuff are stored, and you can put the money and buy the stuff, right? That is also kiosk machine. So kiosk machines are used in banking too. In banking also, this same technology used. More benefit, or you can get all the services under one roof in mostly developing country. Large screen for navigation, various banking services could be enjoyed. Yes, encourage self-services, reduces workload. Yes, increases market reach, ensure round-the-clock operation. Advertise. You can do advertisement also. I think whenever even ATM machine you would have seen, banks are putting the advertisement. Before you put the card, you can see there is a moving screen. You buy, you take housing loan, this is our product. Likewise, in a bigger screen also, advertisements are going in the kiosk machine. That is giving some information to the user. The bank has this kind of product, right? Disadvantages is initial hardware, software very costly, yeah, because these are bigger machines. The regular update, maintenance, and initial cost to install these are a bit expensive. Right, automation, installation cost is very much expensive because you need to have a regular service. Because if you really look at it, these machines are daily basis. You have to service. You put the CAD and ensure those notes are sufficient, and see other stationaries are intact. It's there when the customer wants a receipt, whether the receipts are there, because mainly these machines are used as a branch. Instead of branch network, this machine is used. So you need to regularly service this. And initial cost to install this machine also bit expensive, right? Development of customer software. Yeah, custom software is bit expensive, yes. And you need to develop your own software to install your product if you are looking at a kiosk machine. So this is generally used in Europe country. In Sri Lanka, I don't think there could be instant this machine is good for different purposes. Right? Sometimes when you go to a bigger buildings, some of the complex in India and all, when you go to India, Singapore, when you go to a bigger shopping complex, these kiosk machines are used to give you a location. You click and see under these particular flow what are the items could be. So you go and click it and it comes. And if you want to select a particular product, you say mobile phone, you click the mobile phone and you put the brand and give the shop number. You can go to the shop, tracing the shop number and trace the shop. That is also navigation machines are there installed. So in everywhere these technologies are same. They're used for different purposes, right? These are used for selling goods. Some of them are used for advertising. Some of them are used for giving information, right? Those are same technology. Agent banking. It is central bank. Central bank has given this kind of a ruling to commercial bank. They can use the agent to get their support to do the banking transaction. That is called agent banking, right? So in Sri Lanka, you can use a particular agent as authorized person to go to reach where the unbanked populations are there. Suppose you nominate a particular agent to collect the some of the banks are appointing an agent to collect the recovery of loan. They go to the particular person. These operations are outsourced, generally outsourced operation. So you nominate an agent to do the banking. Some of the you would have seen some of the agent banking is most of the ATM machines are the cash deposits are done by outsourced company. Because you would have seen every bank has an ATM machine, right? Let's say in a situation like now, how difficult everybody taking the money. Let's say Bank of Ceylon has a branch in Colombo, 13, 14, 15. They have 3-4 branches. There you can see each machines are loaded. People are fully crowded to take their money. Now see, the money that have been put into the ATM machine can be exhausted within a matter of 2 to 3 hours. Somebody has to come and replenish. They have to deposit cash again. So if you think of a staff doing this operation, the bank has to bring down the officer. There's other staff that open the vault, taking the cash, and those people will be given transport. How costly? Very costly. So these operations are now given to the agent, and the agent doing that. So now cash deposit, redepositing to the ATM machines are done by most of the banks are giving it to the outsiders. Because what happened? You negotiate a price and giving the entire cash to them. They go and on a regular interval, they go to every ATM and deposit the money, right? So that is one of the agent function example. So it's not the bank staff. It's very expensive if you want the bank staff to do this function, because sometimes Friday night, already ATM machine, the security guard calling card center saying, this particular Vatala branch ATM machine, sir, it's not working. Security guard is there. He will tell every customer complain ATM. Then he has to keep the card center informed. No cash. Then card center has to inform the branch and to send the staff to come all the way midnight. Just think of assets. Sometimes they would have put a vault safe key timer. They would have put the vault timer. So they have to have a cash. Bigger problem. So the bank had difficulties in depositing cash into this ATM machine on a regular basis. So they found a solution. They appealed to central bank and wanted this function to be given to a third party. So that is kind of agent banking, right? So it is the operation of banking is done by agent banking. It is not only confined to ATM, depositing cash to ATM machine. There are other functions, collecting cash, collecting recovery of loan from the customer, or distribute the deposit particular product, leaflet. These are so extended only to existing customer of the bank. Permitted agent banking business. So you have to give the existing customer. You can't go to the new customer. Central bank deposit acceptance, deposit withdrawal, receiving loan, receiving credit card payment, facilitating utility bill payment, account balance, sometimes you can see facilitating utility bill payments. Now, sometimes you see Kiosk, you can pay all the bills also. Electricity bill, water bill, all these bills you can pay. Or even your credit card payment can be made. So they are nominated as the agent on behalf of the bank to collect the credit card payment. Right? So that is their agents are nominated. Account balances request, fund transfer with the same licensed bank. Yeah. So central bank has given these kind of operation could be done by agent banking business. So they have permitted banks to appoint an agent to carry out certain function on behalf of the banks by the agent to the relevant customer. Some of the activity approved by the central bank. Disbursement of inward remittances. Sometimes disbursement of inward remittances is also done by these agents. So you would have seen some of the MoneyGram, all these are also third-party agent processes, right? Western Union, MoneyGram, these people also coming as a third-party agent on behalf of the bank to remit the money, to receive the money. I think somebody asked me a question last class. I don't know who the PayPal. He asked the question why PayPal is not allowed in Sri Lanka to bring the money. So what happened? The PayPal is a company, one of the oldest, I think first fintech company, I suppose. Our central bank is approaching them to permit inward remittances come through PayPal. PayPal is not giving a green light yet to start in Sri Lanka. So like Western Union, MoneyGram, all these are facilitating the inward remittance in Sri Lanka. But PayPal, you can make a payment through the credit card or whatever. You can make a payment through PayPal, but you can't receive money through PayPal because PayPal is not interested in Sri Lanka because they feel the market is very small. Our population is only 21 million. They like population of 100 million, 200 million countries like bigger countries like India, China, maybe USA, bigger countries, Bangladesh. They prefer to have a bigger country because they want a more populated country because their service will be then largely used. They don't like a small population country to give. So that is the reason PayPal is not permitted to get inward remittance. I think one of the boy asked me the question. I don't know the name. I just shared with you. Hope that if you listen, you get the question answered. Right? Advantage of agent banking: improve the outreach of banks. Financial. What do you mean by financial inclusion? Understand that word. Financial inclusion means people, unbanked people, are dragging into banking sector. It's called financial inclusion. You include them into financial. That's all simple meaning. You include them into financial. That means unbanked people are brought back to banking. That is one of the thing is the QR code. QR code is something that the central bank introduced, right? QR code where they want all the people to have a bank account so that you will have do the businesses without touching the physical. With the QR code, you can do businesses, right? That is something financial inclusion. Cost effective, very cost effective. You can save a cost. Think of bank staff depositing shortage of cash into ATM machine, very costly. So cost effective. Effective cross-selling. Yeah, you can cross-selling. Effective cross-selling means you can cross-sell through those agents. You can cross-sell your other product. If you are nominating agent through them, you can cross-sell the other product, right? That is cross-selling. Then disadvantages. Yeah, control-wise, you have to be very careful. If you are allowing a third party to do the banking on behalf of you, you have to be controlled about their system, about whether they are getting any information from the bank and try to diverge to the competitor. You have to be very careful. So you need to keep a control over the activity. They have to do the banking separate piece. They should have that assigned PC cannot be used for any other activity. So there are certain guidelines central bank given when you are nominating a third party as an agent. You need to keep monitor about the agent's operation because end of the day, by giving the bank's part of activity to agent, through the agent, customers should not affected. Customer information should not go to anybody. That is the goal of financial system stability. It's one of the core objectives of central bank. So they will, under any circumstances, they will not allow this to be compromised. So financial system stability is something where the system has to be very stable. By appointing an unknown third-party agent, the bank information goes to the third party, or the banks giving differently behaving with the customer like a bank authorized person. Something that bank need to be aware of. And when they nominate also, they have a certain criteria too. They have to keep the central bank informed. We are nominating so and so as agent. Then the central bank also will have a check on those people, right? Understanding the agent might not fully understand bank's product, or understanding is there. So like your own staff understanding, say sometime what happened, I'll give you an example of say call center. Classic example is agent banking call center. Some of the banks outsource their call center to companies. Say your call center, you know what is call center, right? There is a every operation should have a call center. Now, if the bank is issuing a credit card, debit card, the bank should have a 24 operation call center. That means there is a call center where you can call, and that particular call center at any given point of time, they should answer your call and give you the solution. So what happened? You can't have your own staff working the call center. You will have 4 shift work, 8 hours, 3 shift and 1 extra shift. You should have at least 4 shifts. In the case of eventuality, you should have 4 shifts. Think of 4 shift staff coming in different time, transport, everything costly. So the bank outsourced this function to run a call center by third party. So when you're nominating the call center to run that operation, the call centers people are recruited by not the bank, the company who doing the call center function. They have their own employees. So they are answering to your customer's call, right? So classic example agent is call center, right? So when you are calling, those customers are giving the credit because they are given system to give this information, limited operation, of course. So they know the access to the system. So they look at the credit card, say some of the well-known person calling a particular bank call center. The person answering the call is a outsourced company person. He's not working for that particular bank, but he gets the information. This particular so popular cricketer or so popular actor has a credit card with this bank. He gets the message. So those information should not go and out. So those controls should be there, and they should not give the customer sensitive information to this particular call center people. So they have a limited. So that's the reason when you go to the call center, those computers are disabled to put external devices. They can't carry the mobile. They have to keep it in the wallet because they can take up photos of the screen and all. They can't take any devices. They have been fully monitored. That is how the operation should be. That's how central bank says. When you are giving to outsourced people, you make sure this is well controlled. That is the bank responsibility, right? So because there could be reputational issue, there could be operational technology, all that is because you are giving it to third party. So when the third party misusing it, you are going to compromise the customer information. So you have to be very careful. That is what this total monitoring mechanism is important, because you are given your part of your operation to third party as a call center, because that is going to save a lot of money. Because if you employ your staff, you have to pay overtime. When one shift is not there, you have to pay extra overtime, and you have to give a security, you have to give a transport, everything. Because if you take all the cost, maybe you can by affording the entire operation to outsource company half a price. Your own call center might cost you 10 million. You can do the service about 4 to 5 million with the call center. So they recruit the people and to do this operation. When they are recruiting people, central bank has given guideline. You must give it to the agent. This is the criteria they should have. When they are recruiting people, also there are requirements, right? Risk management in agent banking, because the bank shall manage all the relevant risks, including credit risk, operational risk, legal risk, liquidity, and compliance risk. Yes, you are giving this function to a third party as an agent. So you need to make sure these are its credit, operational, legal, liquidity. This is the entire bank risk, because you are giving it to a third party. So that third party has to make sure they are not compromising any of these criteria and violating this operation. They have to abide by this. They should be compliant to this regulation. As a security control of conducting internal audit through external, you have to do audits whether these people are doing this operation. You have placed internal control system and personnel to adequately monitor, control agent banking business on an ongoing basis. Because when you are giving this operation to somebody, you have to keep a record, because you are saving a lot of money. That is on the other hand, Your informations are exposed. So you need to make a control whether these people are working within the limited access. Ensure the agent have a proper security control policies to safeguard the information from both internal and external threats. Yes, whether they are using a system, whether they are using a telephone system, whatever, are well secured. Nobody can access the information, customer information from the system. So everything and the continuity plan. So remember, what is BCP? BCP is business continuity plan. Write the abbreviation BCP. Sometimes you may get a question in the banking. What is BCP? What do you mean by BCP? It's called business continuity plan. Any business, you should have a business continuity plan. Now see, because a central bank insisted all the commercial bank to have a BCP long time ago. Now see, in a branch where 5 people working in a branch, 3 people are positive. Only 2 people are there. Still some of the branches are operating. Some branches are closed down. You are seeing, right? Some branches due to this coronavirus, some branches are closing down. They are working at a different place altogether. That is what you call business continuity plan. So central bank insisted all the banks to have a business continuity plan for last more than a decade ago. Central bank introduced this. Every bank should have a business continuity plan in the event of something. Now see, current example is a classic example. Every branches are limited operations. Some of the branch staffs can't come to the work. They are into security. They got positive. Their relatives are positive. Some are unable to come to work. Still, bank operation has to continue. That is the motivation. That is the ultimate central bank expectation. Financial system stability. Under any circumstances, banking services are tagged as essential services. Without banking, they fail. But still, banks' operations are going through because of all this effective delivery channel. You don't see any difficulties. You don't have any problem. But there are certain import-export operation. You need to have a staff to release the documents. So those operations has to be continued, right? So there, you see, if the place is unable, if one location is unable to be operative, they have to find an alternative place. That is what you call DCR, disaster recovery site. DRC, you may call it as a DRC, disaster recovery site. DRS, you may call it as DRC or the location or city or whatever. You may call it as disaster recovery site. DRS, disaster recovery site. That is because you have a BCP, business continuity plan. When you have a BCP, you will be selecting an area. Say, for example, if I give you example, say if you take HNB as a disaster recovery site in a different location. Bank of Ceylon might have a disaster recovery site in a different location. Meaning, it is not from the head office. There are most of the function that is done at head office. All those machines are kept in a different location with access to SWIFT, with access to co-banking, with access to telecom line. Few people can sit and work. There is a different location altogether. That is not a daily operating unit. It is in the event of something take place at head office, people have been asked to go to that separate unit. That is called disaster recovery site. That means in the event of disaster, the business has to be recovered. That site is called disaster recovery site. That is because business continuity plan require every banks to have a disaster recovery site in a different location. So if you look at HNB, they have a site at Rajagiri. So Rajagiri is a location where in the event of something, everybody goes to Rajagiri and start working. But central bank, according to the BCP plan, business continuity plan, they will ask HNB whether your BCP place is checked. Have you gone to your BCP place? Because they have a own building, one of their building, right? Maybe it's their own branch, and top of that floor they would have taken all. Let's say there is a business building, different owner, but HNB taken one floor rented. So that one floor rented as a disaster recovery site. They don't go every day. That location is kept in the event of something. Everybody will go to that location. Not everybody, limited people. When I say everybody, in the event of something, about 10 people, they can go and start working there. That is called business continuity plan. Every business has to continue in the event of a disaster, in the event of something. Right now, currently, you can see every bank has a disaster recovery site. Some of the people are working in the site for a long time because this pandemic is continuing. People are getting positive. Some of the branches are closed. Even some of the bank branches are closed. It's not making much effect now. We don't even see that there's a difficulty. That is because of this delivery channel. If this had happened 20 years ago, entire operation would have get blocked. So one branch is closed down. Physically, they are not connected first place. Because the entire customer has to go to the particular branch to get the service. Now, there is not required at all. They can go to any other branch and do the services. They don't even now need to go to the branch. They can do everything online. But suppose say there are location they have to go and get the documents, some of the processing, say some of the inward remittances are coming to head office, they are everyday crediting, because those operations cannot be compromised. You can't working from home. You have to go to head office because the SWIFT is in the head office building. The SWIFT messages are coming. Every day payment need to be processed. Inward remittances coming to Sri Lanka every day. The people are waiting for funds to be credited. Those function has to be continued. But head office is affected by corona. No people can go to head office. Now that operation has to be carried out in other site, different location. That is called disaster recovery site, DRS. So the disaster recovery site has to be operated. You have to check it. Even last year, every year, central bank comes and says whether have you all gone and worked in the disaster recovery site and have you experienced any difficulties? Please make sure in the event of something you are. So every bank is now they are utilizing disaster recovery site and working. See, that is something. These are contingency plan. This is what in the event of something. Now we don't have any problem in when I'm saying when we think of banking. Though any issues in Sri Lanka, we don't see any problem in banking. But if you look at Bangladesh and other poor countries like Pakistan, they are into mess in the COVID time. For that matter, even up to certain banks in India, they are into mess because their trade is not centralized. All the documents are come to one location. Just think of that situation. Their imports cannot be cleared. People are unable to work. Held up. Customs goods are held up. Everywhere is blocked. But if you have a business continuity plan, the business will move even in the event of something goes wrong. Right? That is where. Now we are coming to challenges in the branches. What are the challenges? Regulation. Yeah, in lot of regulation coming when it comes to delivery channel. Lot of regulation because when you're onboarding customer, you need to check the compliance because you know KYC. You know you have to do the KYC. There are a lot of regulation coming, right? Then technology risk. Yes, you need to deploy latest technology. Right? Otherwise, if you don't secure your system, you are compromising your customers because you have internet banking. Banks are installing firewall because they have to be prepared. There could be cyber attack. You know what is cyber attack? There are some software. They try to send that software to attack the system. Try to get an unauthorized access. It's called cyber attack. Then quality of risk management. The bank need to have a very good quality of risk management. Analyze what are the risks in the event of you are using a latest delivery product. What are the risks? Security threats are there. Unauthorized access are there. These are something. Growing competition. Yes, the banks have to fight with the fintech company now. What is fintech? FINTE. FINTECH. Fintech. F capital FINTECH. Fintech. Fintech means financial technology companies. That means these companies are doing financial services like Dialog, Mobitel, SLT. These are fintech companies. They are also into banking, right? So you need to partnership with them and do the things now, right? Because if you do online banking without the Dialog support, you can't do online banking. You need to have internet connection, right? So that is what you call fintech companies. They're supporting your financial fintech company. So that is growing competition. Digital revolution. Yeah, everybody now moving into digital. Digital means electronically all the data transactions are taking place. That means online banking, right? So these are challenges. Notes. So before I give the notes, shall we see what are the mitigating factors? What are the mitigating factors when you have a technology? If you have some challenges, you need to have financial institution must invest latest technology. Very important. They must invest latest technology to secure the system because the customer informations are sensitive. It cannot be compromised. So you have to deploy latest system. KYC. You call AVS, Address Verification Service. Write down AVS, Address Verification Service. That means you have to have a software to address verification service. Because when the customer gives the address, you have to verify whether the customer is really in that place. That is the efficient KYC process. Sometimes they might give a access, there is address, there is no location at all. So you have to get a utility bill. When customer gives the address, is NIC carrying an address and his utility bill is physical address and the NIC address are differs. Then when you ask him, he says my NIC carry the old address. I am currently in this address. So when you fill the account opening form, he give the address 65 number, a particular road. Whereas his ID carrying 85, some other address, some other location. So you should know currently is giving address at 65, whereas it's not telling me the NIC address. So you need to get a utility bill to verify the 65 is place where he is living, where the utility bill carrying his name. That is called address verification service. You need to verify the address of the customer for the KYC process. Know your customer. You should know when you're opening a customer, if the customer gives the address, whether he is really staying in that particular place. That is what you take the utility bill. When the NIC address and the account opening address is differs, you get the utility bill. End-to-end encryption. It is method to secure communication. That is what I said. Bank-to-bank internet facility, end-to-end encryption. So it's a secured way. Nobody can access to this kind of information. So when you are doing email and all, it's not end-to-end encryption. When you are doing your email, you remember you are communicated through the public domain. There is no encryption. So that is what I used to tell you. When you are logging into the internet banking, you have to be very careful. Sometimes you might log into unauthorized site and go and do the payment. That is where the hackers are looking for. The hackers are always there when you do internet banking, Google when you do it, and hackers are following you. Remember, that is how the hackers are very smart. These people are trying to get access to your transaction, right? I'll give you some of the example in the next class if time permits, because it might take some time to explain to you. When I discuss the past paper, I'll give you. So they need to have an end-to-end encryption, right? Biometric authorization. What is biometric? That is what the face recognition, maybe your thumb mark. Those are. Sorry. So we look at it. Digital revolution. Okay. What are the mitigating factors? These are the mitigating factors. Managing, you have to control, you have to biometric authorization. Managing, controlling risk is very important. You have to keep on managing the control because you are into latest delivery channels. You need to monitor this. You need to have a control over this, especially agent and all. Security policy specialists. You need to have security policies of the bank. So you need to have security policies. You need to have password administration. All that is important when it comes to IT-driven solution are provided. Right. This is somebody very interesting. Everybody know what is QR code. Yes, central bank introduced this QR code. Actually, central bank introduced in 2018-19 period Lanka QR, but it was introduced in Japan. Automotive industry in Japan. One of the person, Nakamoto, somebody unknown, is still unknown, but he is the one introduced this QR code. You can see I have given some images of the here. You can see the images of QR code. This is how the images of central bank QR code. So what is this QR code actually? The merchant can go to the bank and get a QR code done. Then what happened is simply just a board. You have this QR code embedded. So you just keep this once a merchant open a bank account, that information is there in the QR code. So he keep a QR code. Then say you are the customer, you want to pay to the merchant. You buy something and you want to pay. That merchant says, I don't accept cash. The central bank promoted this last year, 2020. They promoted all island-wide. They promoted this QR code. Everybody, because it's a cashless. You don't touch the cash. Simply, you scan your code. You should have a smartphone. Then the merchant need not have a smartphone. If we get SMS alert more than enough, then what happens? You have a smartphone. The merchant keep a code. So you through your phone you scan the QR code. The payment is made. The QR code carry all the information. So what is happening here? Every merchant can go to the bank and obtain this QR code from their bank by opening a bank account. So these people have been asked to use the QR code. They will have to open a bank account. That is what I said, financial inclusion. By offering a QR code, central bank expected most of the unbanked people to come to the bank and obtain a QR code so that they do the cashless operation. The merchant doesn't touch the cash. He has a QR code in the lobby of the shop. Whenever you buy, you want to pay, the customer says you scan the QR code. So through your mobile, if you should have an app, you download the app in your mobile phone, and it is connected to your credit card or your savings account. You scan that, your account is debited, the amount, and the customer account is credited. The customer get an alert from SMS message, his account is credited. This can be used by the Trishaw people, it can be used by the restaurant people. So the QR code is very popular. Every bank, I think HNB is first to introduce Solo. I think that is the bank. I think in Sri Lanka, I think HNB introduced Solo. After that, the QR code came by central bank. With the QR code, now every banks are into QR code. Central bank says every bank to go into QR code. They want to ensure entire community doing cashless operation. It's no transaction cost at all, very cheaper. No hassle with cash. You need not to worry about cash. In second, without touching the cash, all the operations are taking place online. That is a QR code. So that is one of the latest product the central bank introduced, right? So that is QR code. New trends in delivery channel. Okay, so what we'll do, I think you have other class, so I can't continue. So we will write some notes on delivery channel next class and moving on to the different. So I'll give you some notes, and if possible, some of the questions we'll try to discuss, and then moving on to, you have other class, right, today? Do you have other class?
Sir.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You have a class, right? So I stop it at this. So we'll meet you in the next Sunday. Probably we will finish this with some of the notes, and then moving on to the other important area, right? So see you in the next class.